A man will never realize his true potential if his life is controlled by his sexual desires. A man that cannot control his sexual desires will forever be at the mercy of women. He will forever be at the mercy of lust. Every day is a constant battle with myself, a constant battle between my sexual impulses and my desire to not give in to the temptations of this world. Much like most kids who were born in the 90s, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. One of my favorite characters of Dragon Ball Z is Vegeta, who was always on a mission to become the best fighter, to train hard and become better tomorrow than he is today. Vegeta's unquenchable thirst to be the best reminds me of my personal journey of sexual abstinence and sobriety, a lifestyle that I've adopted in order to unlock my true potential and become the best version of myself.
There was a time in my life when lust had a stronghold on my life. It was a time in my life when I couldn't get out of the bed until I watched pornography on my phone and masturbated. It was literally a time in my life that my sexual urges had a very, very tight stronghold on my life, man. And I wish that semen retention was something that I would have found out about earlier in my life. I wish that a lot of other men knew about semen retention earlier on in life, because I feel like on this journey, your true potential is realized. And unfortunately for a lot of men, it's too late, man. When I look back on my life, I've wasted over 20 years being addicted to pornography. I wasted 20 years chasing after women. I wasted over 20 years just chasing my sexual desires, man. Years that I could have put into finding myself, years that I could have put into pursuing my purpose, my life purpose as a man, years that I could have used to pursue a relationship with the Most High. All of those years were wasted away, man, because I couldn't control myself. I couldn't control my sexual desires, man. I couldn't control my urges. I have been in countless relationships with women throughout my life since I've been about 12 or 13 years old, man. Some were good women and some were some not so good women. But I've had some good women. I've had some great women. And I messed up those relationships because I couldn't control my sexual urges. I didn't know how to just have one partner. So a lot of times I would step out on my partners, man. I would step out on my girlfriends. I didn't know how to be with just one person. That's how bad my lust had gotten, man. I didn't know how to just be with one woman. And I hate to admit this, but you know, it was a time in my life when I had a very bad alcohol addiction, and you take that alcohol addiction mixed with a sex addiction, man, I wasn't no joke, man. I ran a lot of women away from me like that, man. I messed up a lot of good relationships with women like that, man. Not being able to control my sexual energy and all that type of stuff, and not being able to, not wanting to be with just one woman. I wanted multiple partners and stuff like that. And then you add having a drinking problem on top of that. Let me tell you guys something, man. I know a lot of people thinking, man, it takes some guts to admit that you had a problem like that, such as a sex addiction or a drinking addiction, and it does. But you want to know something, man? The difference between me and a lot of people, I'm not ashamed of none of that stuff, man. Because the things that I've been through in my life, my trials and my tribulations, had to happen. I needed to go through those things to find God, to find myself, to find my purpose and my calling in life. So I'm thankful for everything that I went through in my life. I'm not embarrassed about anything because this is my story. I'm not embarrassed about a single thing that I say on any of my videos. Yes, I was an addict. My drug of choice was alcohol. Yes, I was addicted to sex. Lust had a strong hold on my life. I couldn't get out of the freaking bed sometimes, man, until I watched Korn and I got one off. I've literally lost jobs because of that, man. And I know what you're thinking. How did you lose a job because you were watching Korn? I'm going to tell you how. Because I had jobs that I had to be at work at 5 or 6 or 7 in the morning. And I would wake up on time when I had those jobs. Don't get me wrong. I would wake up on time. But you know what I used to do? I would sit there, I'd lay in the bed, I'd grab my phone, and I'd reach down with my other hand and I'd start going to town. And before I knew it, I'm at home still in the bed, just rubbed one out, and I got to clock in 5 minutes. So that's how I lost jobs, because of my sex addiction, man. I couldn't get my butt out the bed to go to work and take care of my business, man. And I tell anybody that, man, because as embarrassed as a lot of people think I might be to admit this in front of the world, I ain't embarrassed about nothing. This is my story. And I know it's a lot of people in my life that can relate to that, man. This video is going to find the people that it needs to find, because you're not alone. You probably been going through life thinking you a weirdo or thinking you have a problem and stuff like that. And it's okay for you to feel like that, because it is a problem when you have a sex addiction. It is a freaking problem. You know what I'm saying? When you burn bridges with good people and you don't know how to just be with one partner because of your sex addiction, it is a problem. But you can always correct that problem, man. You can always figure that problem out, man. You can always beat your lust. You can always overcome your lust, man. I had an addiction to alcohol, man. I beat my addiction to alcohol. I'm going to tell you guys something. The other day on Christmas Eve, I had a beer and some wine. And do you know that stuff sent me to the bathroom? I couldn't even drink all of it, man. I got sick. My body don't even want that stuff in it no more, man. I tried to have me a drink for Christmas Eve and, be around the family and stuff, and I couldn't even do it. My body rejected that stuff, man. I haven't had a drink in months. About as long as I've been on semen retention. Then when I didn't even try to drink hard liquor. I tried to drink a beer and some wine, and my body didn't even want it. That's how much I've changed, man. That's how far I've come. You understand what I'm saying? I've come so freaking far. I'm not embarrassed about anything I've been through. I'm not embarrassed about none of it, man. I plan on writing a book about my addictions, my sex addictions and my alcohol addictions, and how I hurt people around me because of my addictions, man. And how I felt back then compared to how I feel now that I'm sober, even though I tried to have a drink the other day. But now that I'm sober and I'm sexually abstinent, I plan on writing books about this stuff. This is a lifestyle for me, man. This ain't no game. I ain't got nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm proud of myself, man. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't embarrassed about none of this, man. Because there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. There's somebody out there that had that same alcohol addiction as I had. It's somebody out there that had that same sex addiction that I had, man. It's somebody out there that had the same mentality that they couldn't be with just one woman, and they probably were with the woman that they thought they were gonna marry and be with for the rest of their life, have a family. And they jacked that relationship up because they didn't know how to be faithful, because they couldn't put their sexual urges in check, man. That was me. That's why I'm here. I'm here to let my brothers know that they're not alone. I'm right there with you, man. I had an addiction too, multiple addictions, and they ruined my life, man. Lust destroyed my life, bro. I lost everything because of my lust, bro. Lost jobs. Lost my freaking, my apartment, man, when I lived in another state. Lost my girlfriend at the time, man. Lost friendships with people, burnt bridges, man. Lust destroyed my life. And I ain't ashamed to admit that for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed to admit none of that stuff, man. I'm only human. I'm not perfect. I don't care. You think it's funny. You want to laugh at my shortcomings and laugh because I had a sex addiction and laugh because I was addicted to alcohol, man. It's every day. People go through these things every single day. You know how many people struggle with drinking? You know how many people in the world struggle with alcohol, struggle with drugs? You know how many people struggle with lust? How many people gotta watch porn and masturbate every single day? So I'm here for those people. I'm here for the voice of the voiceless, man, because not everybody has a platform to get on and talk about, man. Not everybody has this platform that I have, man. I'm here for them. I do this for them. I do this for that guy that has a sex addiction and cheats on his girlfriend, don't know how to be faithful. He pushed her away and he turned his life around and he got his lust in check. And now he no longer is a victim of his lust. I do this for people that have an alcohol addiction, man. It's hard for them to stop drinking. It's some people that can't get out the bed until they have a drink. I do this for them. I'm the voice of the voiceless, man. Because not everybody can get on YouTube and do this. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the courage to do this. And that's not me saying I'm better than anybody or nothing like that. But a lot of people either don't have what it takes or they're too afraid. But either way, I do this for them because I am you. I know what it's like to be a victim of my demons, man, my addictions. But just like me, you can overcome those addictions. You can beat the alcohol. You can beat the drugs. You can beat the cigarettes and the vape, man. You can beat the lust. You can beat all of that because I did, and I know y'all can do it, man. I was addicted to that stuff for years. So if I can overcome that with the strength and the help of the Most High God, you can too. You just got to believe in yourself, man. And you got to have faith in the Lord, man, to give you the strength to stay strong and resist those temptations, man. Because every day God give me the strength to do that, bro. So I love you guys, man. And thanks for tapping in with me, man. Y'all stay strong, stay prayed up out there, man. Have a beautiful and blessed day, man. I love all of y'all. Until the next video, shalom, everybody.